Welcome everybody to the super test of the new Yamaha Ténéré 700, a bike that has been so anticipated, and I think there have been miles of text written about this. But now it's my turn. I'm going to try it out today. This particular bike has some optional extras. It has the so-called rally pack, which means that it's got a slightly higher saddle. A very good thing for me, I can tell. I'm 190 tall, like 6'3", and I really need that. That also includes some fancier LED indicators. It includes, of course, the Akrapovic slip-on. There are also some other stuff included. It has an OEM skid plate, and behind here you have the oil filter and everything. And this seems pretty thin to me. Will this take a big impact, and what happens to the oil filter if you really hit something hard there? Maybe something a bit sturdier in thicker aluminium would be good. And the bike comes from the factory with this Pirelli STR rally tires. It's like a, well, from the 50/50 tires that are available, like the you know, the TKC 80s and the Michelin Anarchy Wilds and stuff, this I would say is the most street oriented that there is. Lights are these 4 cool LED units, work well. There seems to be some sort of a laminar flow thing going on here with this front wind deflector. It's available in 4 different colors. This is the red-white version. There is also a classic Yamaha blue-gray and some sort of black-yellow. One thing where you can really see that this is not necessarily a premium bike, but more of a middle-of-the-road version, is that there are no LED dashboards here. It's only the liquid crystal old ones. But you know what? I think it works well. I think it's for me it provides the information I need, and it doesn't really matter on this type of bike. I prefer it to be sturdy rather than elegant and flashy. When it comes to ABS, this bike doesn't have a lot of ride modes or anything. Rather, it has none, but there is a possibility to turn off the ABS. And what happens then is that ABS, both front and rear, are disabled. So there is no possibility to keep the ABS on the front wheel, whereas the rear wheel can be blocked, like you get, for instance, on the KTM. The tank lid comes off totally, so you better take care of this so that you don't lose it. The engine is, of course, well, these days classic Yamaha parallel twin. Got slightly less than 700 cubic centimeters of displacement, and we'll see. I think it's called a CP2. There are no crash bars or anything here. I think you can buy them as an extra. Okay, let's start it and see how it sounds. Okay, this is the Akrapovic, and sound-wise it sounds like, well, it's pretty muted still. I can also see that there is a baffle here that you could possibly take out if you want to, but still there is a melody to the sound. It's a clear V-twin sound, or sorry, parallel twin sound, and I think this one's got 270 degrees between the firings, and that makes this nice little burble. So just let's get started. Let's go. The engine is very smooth, smoother than the 1290. Not much vibration. If you rev out the engine, it goes. Do I need more power than this? No. Would I like more power? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. A couple of horses more, a little bit more bottom end torque. But no, it's not a big deal. If you do the riding I do, like twisty roads and then off-road, of course, and you take it to the city, maybe commute,
I don't think you will ever miss power on this bike. And the thing is also, if you don't have as much power, you need to work the engine a little bit more, and that is, I mean, up and down through the gears, and that can also be pretty fun. I'm riding about 100 right now, and I have pretty good wind protection. There's not much force on my upper body, and there is no buffeting, none whatsoever for me. I'm 190, so it seems simple, this windscreen, but it works really well. On a twisty road like this, the Ténéré is huge fun. The chassis is stable, confidence inspiring. Okay, let's do a full brake then from 100. It stops really well. No measurements, but the feeling is that the stopping power is good. I think the tires will not be as grippy on asphalt as pure street tires, and that will probably be the most important factor. One potential problem with the Ténéré 700 is that the tank is pretty small. For an adventure bike, over 20 liters can be useful, and this one has, I think, 16. But as far as I heard, the CP2 parallel twin engine is very economical, and that might help very much. When you're riding in normal traffic, you barely hear the engine. When you're riding about just transporting yourself, it's very hushed, although it has an Akrapovic exhaust. So it's everything is smooth. No, I don't feel any vibrations in the hands nor in the feet. What I can say is that the engine has a bit of a grabby on-off. It has to do with the fueling, I guess. It's not perfect. When you try to well, go from zero gas to a little gas, you get a little jerk, and it doesn't disturb me, but I could imagine it could disturb some. You can also see here that the average consumption is 21.8 kilometers per liter after having averaged around 100 kilometers an hour for a long time. So it's 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers about. Okay, let's see how it works. The standing up position I have on this bike is cool, it's really good. Although I'm pretty tall, it's okay as it is. OEM, I never had that on another bike, I'll tell you. I always need risers, not on this one. It's like made for tall riders as it is. I'm taking it easy now, I don't bottom out on these whoops, it still works. That's cool. These tires are obviously not ideal for the for this type of riding. They are far too much tarmac oriented. Increasing the speed a bit. Still okay with the suspension. Riding position superb. Oh, I felt the bottom there. Rear brake not the best, or maybe I just need to reposition it. It's hard to use to control the attitude of the bike. I think the suspension needs more progression. It needs to be more progressive. Softer in the beginning and really hard in the end, but hey, you can only get this much for this sort of money. Okay, let's try braking with ABS. You can sometimes get quite long pulses, and better to turn ABS off, I think. These tires work pretty well on rocky, sandy stuff, but in the mud it's not good. Really bad even, I would say. So here it will get this kind of road where it's very hard packed. The engine doesn't really have the power to unstick the rear.
So hi everyone, now we've been riding the Ténéré for an entire day.
Yeah.
On-road, off-road and everything.
Yeah.
Comparing, you brought your 1290 Super Adventure R.
Yep.
I have the same bike, but we use that as a reference. Not a direct competitor in any word, but that's what we are used to, so
Yeah.
that's what we use. Okay, so I'm gonna do some fast questions so you guys get some answers to your questions up there. Starting with the sort of touring capabilities of the bike. What do you think, Magnus? Wind protection?
Wind protection is absolutely okay.
Do you get any buffeting or anything like that?
With this kind of helmet, it's hard to say because it's very, you know, when you get the,
Yeah.
you can easily have some problems with that. And I sense some difference between the bikes. My bike is slightly better wind protection.
Okay. I was really happy with the wind protection. I got no buffeting whatsoever, so I think it's good. When you cruise at 130, is it comfortable?
It's really comfortable.
Can you go far?
Yeah, I would say you can go far, no problems.
Really far. I agree totally with that. When you overtake, have you got enough power in?
The power, you know what I think? I think the power is slightly too little, but of course it's no problem to overtaking.
Yeah, I think there is, we're used to 160 horses, of course this is 75. You need to drop a couple of gears, then I think you can pass, in my view, no problem. Okay, stability of the bike generally?
Stability is fine.
I think it's really fine.
Nice built bike.
Brakes?
Brakes are okay. I haven't really pushed them to the limit today, but as far as normal handling, no worries at all.
I think it's also good, even if you drive fast on and really need to get some speed down, I think they work. The biting point might not be as precise as on the KTM, but still it's more than good enough, I would say, in my view. Ergonomics, how you sit on the bike?
For me, 182, and I have a really good sitting position, and feel that the steering is slightly higher than normal bikes, but I sort of like that, so for me it's good.
it feels as though they would have put a riser on
Yeah.
it already. Because I'm 190 and coming over to the standing up position, I stand up perfectly on this bike without the riser. So it's pretty different to the KTMs, which are pretty compact in the riding position.
Yes.
So but ergonomics very good. I mean, perfect. I would
Nice.
say. Yeah.
Riding position.
Okay. So handlebar, foot peg position, that's the same things. It doesn't need any riser. You got to be really tall to need risers on this bike. Consumption range, I think I had some 4.5, 5 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's pretty I think you could get that down to 4 maybe, if you're really driving carefully. Why should you do that? But still, I mean, it's pretty economical.
Yeah.
When it comes to sound, how it sounds, do you like it?
I like the sound. With the Acura, it's really nice sound, and but not too much.
Yeah, it has the melody, but it hasn't got the loud volume. So I think that's good. It's cool. That's in the KTMs. You really need an Acura to feel some twin melody at all in it. So that's different. Fueling, is it jerky when you on and off throttle?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I feel a slight jerk, no problem, but very little. Doesn't disturb me. Okay, going over to sort of hooning on the streets, having fun with the bike on asphalt. Engine power, can you get it to wheelie easy?
I did some wheelies, and I thought that I felt it has a little bit of a problem to get it up. You can get it up on of course on first gear, but on second gear and then shift to third.
Dump the clutch
maybe as well. There you could have some more power. Perhaps.
When you're hooning on the twisty road, I think it's fantastic. It's really nice. I mean, the chassis is so secure.
As long as you keep the revs up a little bit, you have the power you
have the power you need.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the character of the engine,
nice character.
Super smooth, no vibrations. It's a peach of an engine. I really like it.
Yeah.
You just have a little bit more power sometimes, but it's not a big issue. Depends on who you are, where you come from.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, coming over to the gravel road, has it got torque enough to unstick the rear when you want to?
No.
No? In my opinion, it depends on the surface, of course, and the tires.
And the tires and the surface.
In sometimes, no. Then you can roll through, of course, but it's a couple of horses more there wouldn't hurt.
I felt the some times when we were riding on the gravel and you come to a corner and you really want to get it out. You don't get it out as quickly as you would wish.
No, that happens sometimes. Does it make me having less fun on the bike? I'm having loads of fun on the gravel road with this bike. I think it's so fine. It's such a fine package. But generally, if you really want to unstick also on high friction surfaces, it needs a bit more power.
Yeah, or revs.
Or revs, ABS, does it work for gravel? If you keep the...
I would prefer the setting that you can do on the KTM, where you have the possibility to have the ABS on the front and not on the rear.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes
would suit me better.
Yeah, sometimes when you have the ABS on a gravel situation, it can sort of have the pulses makes it sometimes the bike continues. Yeah. In a way that's a bit scary. It doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it happens.
And it's nice to be able to lock the rear to
get it to turn sometimes.
To turn.
So we do ABS off, but at the same time, sometimes you want to have some ABS on the front wheel. So it works well. You cannot get everything in a package for 10,000 euros. That's clear, but I would like it. I would like it. Okay, when it comes to gravel road, the suspension, does that work nice enough there?
Really nice.
I think it's also cool. Coming over to the single track situation, is it easy to control on the single track?
It's really nice and easy. Have no problems with that, I think.
Single track suspension. The suspension is good enough for that?
For me, with 85 kilos, we did some enduro tracks, and I never felt it go through. Was handling really well, I would say. For me.
For me, it was. I'm a slightly heavier guy. I had a couple of bounce throughs, but it worked surprisingly well, I would say, for this price point. It's not like a magic carpet or anything that really that I imagine you can get on some of the 790s or some. I think when it goes up to a higher speed, you will find the limits of it.
Yeah, of course.
But for 99% of the people who want to do adventure riding, and it's good enough. It's really not bad at all.
No.
Okay. When it comes to the tires, what do you think about them?
The first thing we did, we went some enduro with gravel and sand.
Yeah.
And that worked quite well, I would say.
Okay.
But the
we
mud,
got through.
the mud part was
Yeah.
a total no-no.
They are a catastrophe in mud,
Yeah.
but work well on gravel and sand.
Gravel and sand and tarmac.
Yeah, and tarmac, also wet tarmac. They are really good for tarmac riding. So
no problems at all.
It's a pretty good if you do a bit easier off-road and tarmac on your dual sport adventure. These tires are really good.
Yeah.
But when you reach the mud, you are pretty damn lost.
Yeah, mud or grass, wet grass like we had today, it's really slippery.
Scary.
Yeah.
Okay, when it comes to the economy, you get one of these for 10,000 euros, like slightly over 100,000 Swedish. What do you think about that price point?
I think you get a good adventure touring bike in the mid-range.
Yeah.
Which you can do.
You can do pretty much everything you want.
Pretty much everything.
I think Yamaha has put together a really good package here at this price point. I mean, we're coming obviously from a more premium product, the KTMs, with another price tag. It's totally different. Ours cost like 16,000, and then a lot of optional extras on them. So it's totally different price point, and insurance, I believe, is more expensive too.
Yeah.
But do I have significantly less fun on this bike? No, I don't. I don't know what you think.
I think so. No. I'm not sure if it's possible to get some extra horsepower out of them.
Yeah, I think there is. I think you can get about 10-ish more.
10, 15, I think you reached a sort of limit where I would like to be to be able to get
really what you want.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised. I mean, I've driven a lot of Yamahas, the 660 XT, which I think is a brilliant bike, but it's simple. The suspension is very basic. The old Ténéré, which was a bit too heavy for that single cylinder, but I still liked them, and I like this one even more. There is something very friendly, but yet not boring in it, which I like, and it's at a reasonable price point, and I think it's a damn good package for the price.
I think so too.
All right, thanks for this time. See you soon again.
Bye.